Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Vale, with another Big Hype podcast. And my very special guest today is Mr. Tom Summerbell. Tom, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Fantastic.
Thanks for inviting me on.
Mate, it's my absolute pleasure to have you on board with us today as well. So thank you so much for joining us as well.
You're welcome.
I wanted to get you on because I've never announced you before, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to announce you in a couple of weeks' time down in London, and wanted to get to know you a bit more and find out a little bit more about you. Obviously, Instagram tells me a bit, BoxRec tells me a bit, but sometimes
but
it's best.
Can't get to know the person, can you?
Exactly. Go to the source and ask. So, tell us how and why boxing. Tell us how you got into it all. How did it all start for you?
Well, it all started a bit of chance, to be honest. I'd always trained. My dad always had me training as a kid with my friends and stuff like that, like sparring and boxing. But um, it was all by chance. One of my mum's friends that she works with, her husband had started a boxing gym.
Right.
And I'd always said, "Oh, I'll keep going. I'll go and try it." And I never ended up going. But I was a bit of I wasn't very well behaved as a child. I was always in a bit of trouble. And she kept asking Alan Robinson, he was called. God bless him, he's not with us anymore. But my mum kept asking him to take me down to the gym to try and get me on the right track, sort of thing. Anyway, one day he just turned up out the blue at my front door, and before I'd even stepped in the boxing gym, he took me sparring to a gym called North Road in Concert. Obviously, I was only, I think, 15 at the time.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like when you're a young lad, you think you're a man, don't you? So I was like, right, brushed it off, and obviously went in. I ended up sparring with a man he was a man at the time. He'd just come out of jail.
Okay.
A bit daunting, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, he's just gonna like move around with us, do you know what I mean, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't. We ended up having a full on spar.
Wow.
I think he definitely got the better of it, but I wasn't deterred, and after that, I just fell in love with it. I was in the gym nearly every night after that, and that's where it all started.
Wow, and that was in your hometown, you said?
No, well, the gym that I went to was in my hometown. It's a little village called Trimden, but he took me to a place called Concert.
Okay.
Quite a rough area. Obviously, I'd never even been in the boxing gym before, and he put me in sparring. I think he thought it would teach us a lesson or something like that, but it worked the other way, and I just fell in love with boxing since then.
And that obviously then led into amateur boxing.
Long amateur career, yeah.
And you, again, I don't know the whole thing. I can only piece together bits from Tinterweb. But you went on to championships. You've gone on to box cups.
Yeah.
You've won box cups. Again, very storied amateur career. Again, what was your experiences of being involved in the amateurs? I love the amateur side of it as well. I say this on most of my podcasts, and I love to give back where I can and attend those shows, because those shows are where boxing stars of today are made.
Exactly, yeah.
So what was it like for you in the amateurs?
I always enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Obviously, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. So I did enjoy it. Towards the end, it got a bit frustrating for me. I don't know. Everyone will say politics in amateur boxing. It's
not the first one
for everyone, but
you're not the first one to say it on the podcast.
Overall, it was a good experience, and I'm really glad that I did it. To be honest, I was a bit hit and miss. There was a few gaps in my amateur career which I wish I didn't have, where I stopped boxing for like a year, a couple of years at a time, but I ended up coming back, and obviously I've turned professional now. I had 8 fights professional, so I'm fully dedicated to the sport at the moment, and I've been for the past, I'd say, 5 years or something like that.
Your professional debut was in Rotherham. Was that right?
No, Sheffield it was.
Sheffield. Sorry, my
Sheffield
apologies. Right.
in the football stadium,
Yeah. So it
Sheffield
was.
United ground. Yeah,
Yeah, Bramall Lane.
Bramall Lane. That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
forgot the
So
name of it. Yeah,
it's all right. It's only because Wrexham played there the other day
yeah.
and lost, but that's a different story. But no, yeah. So I mean, how was that? What's the difference then for sort of people who perhaps don't know? I mean, all of us, we know a little bit, but for you, what was the difference between being professional and being amateur?
Um, it's totally different. Obviously, you go in the ring with another man with a pair of gloves on and having a boxing match. I mean, you do that as amateur, but everything about the whole setup, the weigh-ins, everything beforehand. Obviously, certain shows that you box on, you can be in big arenas and there's lights and cameras. Just the whole setup. I think it was after my debut, I knew it was for me, professional boxing.
Yeah. What was your debut like? I mean, the opponent was.
It was it was good. I was up against a very game opponent who had been, well, he was from Nicaragua, very tough. He wasn't a typical professional debut sort of opponent. He definitely come to have a go and he tried to win.
Mm.
But that made for a better fight. Obviously, it took a big crowd down. I really enjoyed it. It was good, something
Four
that
four
I'll
round
never
four
forget and
rounders,
look
and you
back on.
run. Yeah, four round, and
Four
you
rounds,
won every
yeah.
round
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
fight there again. I mean, but yeah, like you say, the Nicaraguans that come over here, we see them
very
regularly
tough.
on every show.
Yeah,
There's always a small group of them that come over and work
yeah,
hard. And yeah, they're very game. They're normally of a good pedigree in regards to the
yeah,
amateur side of boxing as well. Coming through with amateur championships, similar to yourself, but you do find
yeah.
that they're educated in a different way.
Yeah, oh, they know the game. Yeah, they
Yeah,
know the job as well.
yeah.
Obviously, they know they're in the away corner, but they do come to have a go. And if you're not on your game, then they will catch you because they can punch. They're very strong normally.
Did you struggle at all? Did you ever feel that, the game plan wasn't quite going to plan, and you sort of went back to the corner and sort of said, well, or was the plan go to plan? Did it go to plan? The debut.
It did go to plan. I started bit cagey, and obviously the nerves were there
Mm-hmm.
with it being my debut. But after the first round, and you do it in the gym week in week out. Obviously, I had
Yeah,
60 amateur fights. I've done it previous times before. It just comes natural once you get the first round out of the way. Then you just do what you can do. Yeah.
yeah. And who's been instrumental then in getting you to the pro arena? Who's the instrumental? Who's in the corner coaching you
I've
through
got
it all? Is it still?
I've got two main coaches. My coach I've been with for the past 5 years now, Jimmy Tyres, and
Okay.
Adrian Worth, who's the chairman of Billingham Boxing Academy. He's been very helpful and instrumental in pushing me to turn professional and help me over the past few years. That's obviously the gym that I fight out of.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them two, I don't think I'd even still be boxing. Very good men, and they've got your best interest at heart. You know what I mean? They're not in it for money or anything like that. They just want the best for me, and that's all I'm happy with.
No, and that's great that
Couldn't
you've
ask for
got
any more
people.
from them, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great that you've
couldn't
got
ask for any
people
more.
behind you. You said obviously when you came down and you did the pro debut, the change from amateur to professional. I suppose perhaps what you said is the fact that you've got
Yeah,
a big crowd there of people. It's a big
yeah,
event
yeah,
for you,
yeah,
and you said that you dealt with the pressures quite well, having all the
yeah,
family there as well. It's perhaps slightly different to being in a gymnasium or a sports hall,
yeah,
at the
yeah.
pro
Totally
level.
different. It is. You're
Yeah.
right.
And did you prefer that, or did you sort of say, "Oh, actually, I kind of prefer it where it's a bit quieter"? Or
No, no, not at all. I mean, after boxing, like you say, in clubs and leisure centres or halls, then at the age what I was, and after so many
mm,
amateur fights, I think it was just about the right time to turn professional and do it in a bigger setting, bigger arena. I know there's more pressure, but I put the work in every day, so I was more than confident in myself.
Good. And as you progressed, obviously we've had eight fights, nine
Yeah,
fights,
yeah,
not
yeah.
eight fights, not eight fights.
Eight now. This will next
Nine
one will
is
be
coming
ninth
up.
on
Nine is coming up shortly.
28th of September. Yeah.
So what is the thing you do that gets you in the right frame of mind? Because obviously there's a bit of downtime between fights.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
now
yeah. I've
you've
got a
been
young
those.
family at home. Yeah,
Congratulations.
which I have to obviously spend a bit of time with as well. But the thing that gets me in the right mind frame is just hard work and dedication. Nothing else. You can't get nothing will replace that. So if you put the work in 100%, and you're going to
Yeah.
be confident in yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, and is there anything you do that perhaps other boxers don't? You sort of you find that you helps you, obviously apart from the dedication, that you find. I don't
Not necessarily. No,
no.
no. Just the discipline. Obviously I'm 100%. Don't cut any corners. Make
Yeah.
sure everything's right. Um, can't say any more really. Just hard work, dedication, discipline, and making sure everything's right mentally and physically.
And you say you got a young family there as well. How old are your
Yeah, yeah.
How old are your little ones?
2-year-old daughter's just gone 2 in May, so she's getting a bit harder to handle at the moment. But
I've got kids
we're
myself, so
managing all right. Yeah,
yeah,
we're
I've got
managing
kids
fine.
myself. They're fine at that age. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
I've got a
yeah,
13-year-old and 9-year-old now, so it's yes,
yeah.
things certainly change as they
Bit
get
more
older.
steady. Yeah.
And as she does she know about boxing? Is she starting to
No,
follow
she's still
daddy's
a bit young
footsteps?
to
Or
understand sort of things. She's still a bit young.
yeah,
She did come to me last fight actually. That's the first one she's been to.
okay.
But she wasn't really paying much attention to the boxing. I think she was more just running around and enjoying herself.
I suppose at that age it's much more fun to run around an
Yeah,
empty, a bigger
yeah.
room, where
She
there's
does
plenty
like
of stuff.
to watch the boxing on the TV,
Does
mind.
she?
She does like watching it, yeah. I mean, she's had no choice with me, but she
True,
does
true.
like to watch it, yeah.
True, true. And as you watch, I mean, is there someone that inspires you in regards to like style or career that you'd like to emulate and sort of sort of say one day Daddy will be like this guy or like that guy?
Not particularly one person, but just obviously other champions from Britain, Ricky Hatton, Carl Zaggy, people like that. Working class, sort of. They've been working class and then made it. That's the sort of people that inspire me.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean,
And they still like one of the lads outside the ring. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if they're above anyone. Once they made it, they were still the same person, and that's hopefully when I make it, that's what I intend to be as well.
yeah, yeah. I've met Ricky a couple of times.
Yeah,
Joe as well, being a Welshman. He's
yeah, I've met them
occasionally
both as well. Yeah,
occasionally down the
yeah,
road. He's only just down the road from where I live, so it's kind of like you see him sometimes. He'll pop along. His
yeah.
boy boxes as well. So I've announced Joe Calzaghe, but not
Have
the
you?
Joe,
Yeah.
not the Joe Calzaghe,
All right.
Joe
No.
Calzaghe Junior. So slightly
All
different, but
right. Yeah.
it's the same. But
Still the same name though. Eh?
same name, still
Same name.
gusto,
Yeah.
same gusto. So yeah, so good. So obviously we're still quite young in the career, really 8-9 fights in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's still early sort of
Not even
stages
two
for you.
years into me. Not even 2 years into me professional career, so I've moved quite quickly. But I always had that in my mind. I always thought that I would move quite quickly once I turned professional, so I'm happy that it has gone that way.
And it's good that you're being active because I mean we see so much in the news and stuff about boxers having 6, 7, 8 months between not a year even
Months out
between
at a time.
bouts, and that
Yeah.
really doesn't really help, I suppose, having whilst being active and
No.
again coming from the active background that you came from in the amateurs, it is good to I guess keep you active.
Yeah.
What obviously once we get this fight done out of the way, what is the next sort of steps? Is it challenging for some area championships? British,
Well,
English.
yeah, English is what we're hoping for.
Okay.
I was obviously scheduled to fight Ethan James,
Mm-hmm.
on the show at first, and it fell through for different reasons. Everyone has
Yeah.
their own reasons, and I've got nothing against them. I wish them all the best. So now I've got Jordan Dujon, and it's still an English title eliminator.
Yeah.
So hopefully win this one, and then we can push on, try and get the English. Sean Knox has just won it a few weeks back,
Yes.
and I would accept that fight next, no problem. I would love that fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just checking the
I very
championships
much, yeah,
circular that went
very much
out.
fancy myself in that fight.
Yeah, the champion circular has just gone out. Not that
Yeah,
probably today. Actually, I think it was or yesterday. So I was just having a quick flick through, and yeah, I could see there's some movements and stuff going through that as well.
yeah,
So it's going to be interesting bouts being made and some purse bids etc. going through that. So it'd be
yeah.
interesting to see, and yeah, hopefully
What happens?
everything goes well for you on this first one. So on to
Yeah.
the English. Is there a dream or desire? Is there a belt that you would like to see in your trophy cabinet?
I think going to sound like a broken record, but I think every British fighter says the British title is a dream to win that.
Beautiful belt,
But
beautiful
obviously,
belt.
yeah, yeah. Anything past that, obviously, European, Commonwealth, World honours would be brilliant. I mean, there's no end to where you can end up if you're willing to put the work in. If someone else can do it, then why can't you? That's what I say. I'm
Yeah,
willing to
no,
put the work in, so let's just see where we end up.
that's that again. It was what's in the tank and what's going to get
Yeah,
you over the
exactly.
line and take you to the
Yeah,
points. I get that totally, and I think listeners get that as well. So that's really good, really good, and obviously, yeah, world honors again. You probably get to travel the world with that as well. Is that sort of part
yeah,
of the plan? Would that be sort of happy to go on the road kind of thing in some
yeah,
respect, if that
yeah, hundred
was the
percent.
way?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's no problem at all.
Happy to take the
Obviously,
fight wherever.
I'm the away fighter in this in my next fight on the 28th. Obviously, going to York Hall. I don't know where Jordan's from, but I know he's from London, so it won't be as far to travel as where we coming from up in the
No,
northeast. So
yeah,
being in the away corner is not a problem at all to us.
yeah. I think a lot of people don't and sort of understand the difference perhaps between being a home fighter and an away fighter.
Yeah,
You're out of your comfort zones, aren't you? You're not in your normal
yeah,
environments. You're out
yeah,
away from your family, perhaps as well.
yeah,
In a hotel or environment. Talk us through that. You've obviously been a home away fighter before, but talk us about how that
yeah.
how that affects.
Well, everything's stacked against you, isn't it? Really. Obviously, you're not going to have as big a crowd as your opponent. Um, the promoter that's putting the show on is obviously backing the home fighter to win or
Mm,
expects him to win, wants him to win. So everything's stacked in the home fighter's favour, but at the end of the day, there's only you and him's going to get in the ring, and whoever's the better man is going to win.
yeah, I'll only say what I know of TM though is the fact that they like to put on 50-50 fights, and
Oh
they're
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
They like to see boxing. I gotta say,
yeah,
at some other promotions, maybe I don't know. They may want to
yeah,
do something different, but I can only speak of what I find in this one. And then, in fairness,
yeah. I
most of the
get
fights
that. I
that,
get that feeling speaking to John as well, who's putting the
yeah,
show on.
yeah,
I think he's a very fair man, a nice man. I've spoke to him quite a bit lately, and I'm really looking forward to being on his show.
yeah. No, again, I can only speak of as I find. I've worked with John for a few years, and
Yeah,
TM fights. 50-50s, they
yeah,
really do enjoy them. They like putting them on. They
yeah.
like having the opportunities to showcase talent, not just their own fighters, but away fighters as well,
Different
if there's
people coming in.
opportunities as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So going, obviously we're going on and on to that sort of next stage. If when the career does come to an end, what would you where would you like to do? What would you like to sort of thing, or what skills would you take from boxing into the real world? I suppose is a terminology.
Um, I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can take, and obviously, you need to be very disciplined, focused, um, like dedicated to your craft.
Is there anything you'd like to do outside of boxing? Perhaps
yeah, eventually in the coming years, obviously, I've already got my level one coaching badge for the amateurs, so I do help out in the gym.
Okay.
That's obviously something that I'd like to move into once I finish boxing myself. And just yeah, I'm a qualified level three personal trainer also,
Okay.
so I've got everything
Yeah.
set up for after boxing when the time comes. But as of now, I'm fully focused on myself, and
Yeah, and
that's all that
rightly so.
matters at the moment. Yeah,
And rightly so.
yeah,
But like you say, years to
yeah,
come, if something was,
yeah,
something when it's done and dusty, and you say, right, okay, I'm done with boxing.
yeah.
But I'm now going to go on to be involved
Done
in
my
boxing.
time. Yeah,
So I think a
yeah.
lot of
Oh,
people
I
when
think
we
I'll. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Obviously, if you've been involved in boxing for so long, it's a massive part of your life. I think it'd be too hard just to walk away and say that's it.
and that is
I'll
something we
always be
find.
involved somehow.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
I find when talking to all the other boxers and everything else, there's always once it's in the blood, it's hard to get rid of, and
yeah,
people want to
yeah.
give back, and
Exactly.
I get that totally and utterly. It's good to have that opportunity to give something back to then and hopefully
Yeah,
find the stars of tomorrow. Like I said, the amateurs is
exactly. Yeah,
the place where we
that's the
find those.
thing.
So that's great. Um, Obviously beyond that as well, you've got the family life as well that's going
Yeah,
going well with the little one as well.
going very
Uh,
well. Yeah,
and will you have many people coming down with you then to London, or will travel
yeah.
with you?
Yeah, I've nearly. Well, I haven't actually received the tickets yet, but the list that I've got, I've nearly sold all the tickets that I'm due to receive, so I might be wanting more.
So there's a
Um,
coach coming down from Middlesbrough.
I'm gonna once I've got the tickets, like the numbers actually sold of what I'm gonna try and organise a coach, and there's already people booked trains and hotels, so there is a few coming down. Yeah,
Fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. That's
I'm
great,
over the
mate.
moon with the support. To be honest, I didn't think I'd have half as many coming down as what I have, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, no, it's. Do you know
Yeah.
what? You probably the way it'll go, you'll probably have more than the home fighter, even though you said it the other
Maybe
way
I know. I
around.
could do, I could do the
Who
amount
knows?
that's
Who knows?
coming.
Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows? Well, obviously, we wish you every success for that, and obviously, I wish you every
yeah.
success in your career going forward. And thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
for jumping
much.
on the podcast. But before you go, I do this with all the guests. It's just a very quick, rapid, short fire sort of questions to get a little bit
Yeah.
more knowledge about you, what you prefer. So, in regards to in the ring, southpaw or orthodox?
Both.
You're one of the switches, aren't you?
I'm a switch hitter. Yeah. Yeah.
Body shots or head shots? Which is your favorite?
Body shots.
Training alone or with a partner or with a team?
With the team.
Yeah. Early bird, night owl.
Early bird.
Everyone's early bird. No, I've never
Definitely.
don't come across a night owl.
I never used to be, but I am now. Yeah.
Heavy bag or speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Okay. The underdog or the favorite?
Underdog. Always. Love underdog story.
In the gym or out and about?
In the gym.
Short and powerful punches or long and technical?
Short and powerful.
Fight dirty or clean?
Clean.
The loud.
Respectful.
Yeah, respectful. Right, yeah, I get
If you can be. Yeah.
it. The loud crowd or the quiet atmosphere?
Loud crowd.
Okay. The quick knockouts or the strategic wins?
Quick knockouts. Don't
AJ
get
or
paid for overtime in boxing, as they say.
do you get paid? I thought we were doing it for fun.
Sometimes.
AJ or Fury?
Fury.
Do you know what? I kind of think there's a bit of a thing with that. We've talked about that. I'll talk about it on everyone's, and I'm kind of like I'm still a bit out and I don't know which way it would go. I'd love to
Yeah.
see it happen. First and foremost, I
Yeah.
would love to see it happen, and that's the most
To be
important thing.
honest, now is probably the only time I've thought that AJ could beat him. But I would still always back Fury.
You got a picture with him on your Instagram, so I'm kind of guessing.
Yeah, I've met him.
You know,
Yeah, he came through our boxing gym. Came and did a session like with a few of the kids when he was up here, and we met him and had a bit of crack. His dad was there as well. They're
John,
nice
yeah,
people. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Big John was there.
Oh, I mean, I've met Tyson, and yeah, he seems a genuinely nice guy. So, Tom, how do people get in contact with you? How do they follow your story? How do they get, if they're interested in tickets and so on, to follow you and support you? How do they do that?
They can look on my Instagram. It's T_S.94 or Tom Summerbell, and obviously my name Tom Summerbell on Facebook as well.
Thank you very much for coming on, Tom,
Thank you very much.
and we look
No
forward to
problem.
seeing you
You're
soon.
welcome.
I'll catch up with you
Thank
soon.
you.
Take care.